Hi, I'm Megan.
And I'm Andrew.
And welcome to Cooking Stage Left, the show where we teach you how to make something delicious. So what are we making this episode?
Okay, so today we are making a cheese board. Now, you've seen, I'm sure, maybe there's one or two other cooking things online that you've seen where people are all about charcuterie boards and cheese boards and candy boards and this boards and that boards, right?
Boards?
Candy boards are everything. And they still call them charcuterie boards, which is wrong. Charcuterie is meat. Stop that. Stop it, all of you.
Yeah.
But we're going to make a cheese board. But we are making a cheese board. We are making a board that you put cheese on, but you can eat.
Great.
Yeah, an edible cheese board.
Perfect.
Mind blowing.
I know, right?
Yeah, so this is one of those things, again, you're going to impress your friends. You're going to make this as big party wow, but super simple.
Great.
So we're going to go back to our very first episode where we made that 24-hour bread dough that we made into waffle pizzas.
Yeah.
And we're going to make the same thing again, but this time we're going to stretch it out into a giant board. So basically it's a focaccia.
Excellent.
And we're going to put some fun stuff on it, and then we're going to show you how to align it to make a cool little cheese board that you can eat. All right, so we're excited. We're going to get right into this.
Yes,
right?
we are.
Here we
Yeah.
go. Curtains up, burners on. Okay, so we're ready to make our edible cheese board. Cheese board that you can eat, not edible. Cheese board that you can eat.
Important clarification.
Important clarification. But
Yes.
you know, you do you. We always say whatever works for you.
Whatever works for you.
So we're going to use, just like our pizza dough that we used before, we're going to use regular all-purpose flour. We're going to use some whole wheat pastry flour.
Ooh, yes. For the extra chew, right?
Yeah, exactly. A little bit of extra chew, a little extra flavor there.
Uh-huh.
Some regular old yeast.
Okay.
Now, when I was following the previous instructions and recipes for the previous one, it said that you had to use like bread or bread machine yeast or instant yeast. Since I've been starting to make bread with regular yeast, and it's fine. It's been working just fine. So
Great.
this 24-hour dough that we make, salt and water, and that's everything in the dough itself.
Okay.
And then olive oil for when we actually spread it out and bake it into the pan.
Oh, okay, great.
And then we're also going to put like some just fun toppings on it. You'll see it's sort of like, so I've got like some sesame seeds here. I've got like what would sort of be considered like Italian seasoning, like oregano, thyme, and basil. We'll put those together. And then our really famous like everything sprinkles, everything bagel sprinkles. So we'll sort of have fun with that when we start to like put it out together.
Great.
But that's it. Again, this is super simple. Takes a little bit of time. Again, we're going to make it and then let it sit for like 24 hours. So, you know, again, long episode, hang in. But other than that, that's all the ingredients. Super simple. So We'll be back and mix this up.
Let's do it.
Okay, so let's go. We're going to start making our bread dough here. And again, this is a no-knead bread dough. Okay. So what we'll do is put everything together. It's 3 cups of all-purpose flour to 1 cup of whole wheat pastry flour. We're also going to put in a half a teaspoon of yeast, which you have there, so you can put that in any time. We're just going to put all the dry ingredients together.
Perfect.
So 3 cups of all-purpose flour. One cup of this whole wheat pastry flour for the extra chew. And again, this dough is really forgiving. So unlike a lot of baking and people, I used to get all freaked out about baking that it's like, oh, it has to be exact. This is not that recipe.
Okay.
It's really simple. Like you can sort of like be a little heavy, a little light on the flour.
Yeah.
We got our half a teaspoon of yeast in there. Now a teaspoon and a half of salt.
All right.
So 3 of those. Exactly.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Cool.
Right.
And then if you just want to stir that up so it's evenly sort of distributed there.
Yeah.
See how difficult this is, right? This is really hard. This is really difficult.
Yeah.
And then you're going to pour in your water. Again, our water is like room temperature or a little bit warmer.
Okay.
Just to give that yeast that first pop. But the yeast is going to have like plenty of time to get in there and start doing its thing.
Nice.
And you remember what makes the dough rise, right?
Yeast farts.
Yeast farts, right.
Yeah.
It's the yeast fart. So the
Yeah.
yeast comes to life and it eats some of the food, that's in the flour.
Uh-huh.
And then it farts and it makes little pockets of air in there.
Yeah.
And that's what it's doing. Now this dough, again, you just want to incorporate this really well. You don't want dry patches. You don't want wet patches.
Okay.
It's okay to over mix it because over mixing it's just going to create gluten. It's dough, so it's a bread dough, so that's fine and dandy. If it was like a muffin or something like that, you'd want to like be careful about it because you want to keep that, light and fluffy, but it's not. It's bread.
It's not. It's bread.
Yeah, you want it just be like chew-tastic. But this is going to be the most work you do on this till later when we sort of again. Yeah, and that looks like we have enough moisture in there.
Yeah, I think so.
So just look at, and just like get all those dry bits in there and mix it together.
Okay.
Again, little tip, do it in a glass bowl so you can lift it up every now and then and see oh yeah, I got some dry bits, but that's looking fantastic. It looks a little shaggy, which is great. We're not going to have to knead this to the point where it gets all smooth and beautiful yet.
Okay.
Because we just don't have to.
Great.
We
Pretty good. Looks pretty good.
Oh yeah, it does look really good. Yeah.
Yeah.
And you can just
good.
scrape off your spoon and stuff, and
Okay.
that was it. That's like the hard part of this recipe. Yeah.
Yeah.
So Megan, if you need to go take a breather or whatever,
Okay,
now we've got
yeah.
now I've got 18 to 24 hours to rest.
Okay.
We're gonna cover this loosely with some plastic, and then we're gonna put a towel over that, and sort of show you. Of course, we made one in advance, which we'll show you. But this is just all you do. You got some plastic wrap here, and whoops, wrong way. Cover it very easily.
Excellent.
And then there should be, I think, a lovely dish towel in here. Something beautiful, something simple. You just sort of cover it. This is the way that I do it. It reminds you not to touch it too, because you don't want to be going in there,
Right.
You just sort of let it go very slowly. I put it on my stove, where there's a little pilot light or whatever to keep it, again, not hot, but some warmth to it. And we'll show you now.
Okay.
This is the one that we made yesterday, and we'll start to play with this shortly. But if you can see in there how bubbly and yeasty and delicious it is.
That's risen a lot.
Yeah. And can you smell that?
Mm-hmm.
So yeasty, right? It almost smells like beer. It's delicious. Yeah, and again, that's the yeast, and I think also the whole wheat flour just gives a little bit extra sort of flavor to it, and you can really smell it at this point. It's great. So we're gonna turn this into a giant board that you can eat soon, and then we're gonna eat it.
Yay!
Cool. Okay, so this is the fun part. We have our dough completed. And again, what you want to do is you want to take that dough, you want to mix it up, cover it up, and let it sit for 18 to 24 hours. So this is a day in advance thing that you're doing. We have our oven set for 425 for when we're going to bake it.
Excellent.
But that's going to heat up a while because we're going to shape this out and then we're going to let it rise a little bit and rest a little bit. So the oven will be good and ready. So I'm just going to sprinkle a little bit of flour here on the counter.
Great.
And then I sprinkle a little bit just on top of the dough too, to just let it be not so sticky. It's going to be sticky.
Yeah.
It's a sticky dough. And then what you want to do is just drop it out here onto the counter. And then I gave you a scoop there to get it out. And then just, fold it a couple of times.
Okay.
It's going to be super sticky and you kind of want it to lose some of that stickiness.
Yeah.
All
right.
Not even, I'm going to hold it here. Let me hold it and then you can scoop it. So let me do it this way.
Perfect. Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
That scooper really works nicely.
Yeah, doesn't it?
Yeah. Oh my gosh, I can really smell the yeast now.
Beautiful.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Yeah, it is really beer-like.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. All right, so we're folding this a couple times?
Yeah, just sort of just like that. Yeah, just sort of fold it onto itself. It doesn't have to be real tricky.
I remember this from our waffle pizza.
And that's kind of about it.
Okay.
Yeah. And so now we're going to stretch it out onto our board here.
Oh, okay.
And to prep the board, again, it is kind of like making a big focaccia, right? So you're going to use some olive oil, and we're going to just like drizzle that.
Okay.
If I was a measuring person, I'd say about a tablespoon to 2 tablespoons.
Okay.
But you know me, right? I'm like,
I mean, what if you put a little extra?
how much do you put on? You put on enough, right? That's kind of like the Italian-American way that I learned to cook.
Yeah, that's fair.
And they say, like, how much do you put on that? You put enough.
Right. Yeah.
Not too much, but enough.
Just enough.
You put enough, right?
You put enough, Andrew.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
So, and the olive oil kind of, the cool thing about, when you're making focaccia, the olive oil kind of like fries the bread a little bit. Like, how you get that crunch on it, right?
Yeah.
And you get the flavor. We're using a nice, actually flavorful olive oil that I find is really reasonable and a good price.
Yeah.
One thing that I forgot to mention in the ingredients that we're going to use also is some cornmeal.
Ooh.
Okay, and that puts like a nice crunch on the bottom.
Sure.
You ever notice on a pizza there's like cornmeal on the bottom?
Yeah.
They use it kind of as like little ball bearings. So like get the the pizza peel. That's what gets the pizza dough off the pizza peel onto the oven there.
Makes sense.
I like to put it on my focaccia because it smells delicious.
Yeah.
Tastes delicious. It's got some crunch to it. So I'm just going to put that on the bottom here.
Okay.
And then we're going to plop the dough on and try and stretch it as much as we can.
Okay.
Stretch it to the corners. I've made this before, and this should cover this whole half sheet pan here. If you have smaller pans, if you have like a pizza pan or whatever, just cut it in half because it will definitely make like 2 round size boards. I like the cornmeal. I'm going kind of heavy on it. So,
Yeah. Oh yeah. I agree.
So like I like the crunch to the bottom there.
Yep.
So if you like that, don't like that, make it the way you want to do it. There you go.
That's right.
So yeah, so you see, really hard, right? This is hard. So just like, let's drop the dough in there, and then we'll try and stretch it.
Okay. And here we go.
Ploop.
There it is.
Yeah.
I'm just going for it.
Do it. Yeah.
Okay,
I see
all right.
you're just having a good time with it.
Yeah, no.
That's the way it is. And just again, remember we talked way many episodes ago about listening to your dough, right? You're gonna get to a point where your dough is gonna be like, calm down, stop touching me.
It's true.
I don't like to be touched that way, right? And so you're just gonna, when that happens, you just sort of like pull back for like 2 minutes or so. Okay. And it will relax.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get in here and help you just because it's fun.
It's fun.
And then when you see like thick parts, you just sort of like, push that to the edges. Okay. You can get this pretty thin because it's going to poof up again. And it's going really nicely, actually. The dough is beautiful.
Yeah, it really is.
But if you see thicker parts, you just sort of like loosen that up. It always tends to be a little thicker around the corners, and that's fine and dandy. But it's going really nicely, right?
Yeah.
I just pulled it a little too much there, and you say, I'm going to let that go. Okay. Yeah. So we're going to let this sit for a few minutes.
Yeah, it's interesting because like right there, it's like a little bit cranky.
Yeah.
Whereas here, it's fine.
Yeah.
Like I'm putting it over here, and it's like, yeah.
That's where it started too. Like when I got in, it was like, whoa, I'm already pushed over there.
Yeah.
Calm down. Okay, so I'm just going to pull back a little bit, chill out. But you can see how amazing it is already.
Yeah.
And even that would be like fantastic, right?
Oh yeah.
But you can go thinner from there. I like this kind of like fun rustic looking things, right? Some sort of like but we're gonna go the whole pan. We're gonna make it like nice and square and beautiful.
Oh, okay, great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait. Stop touching. Stop touching. Again. I floured my hands a little bit.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Yeah, so just like let's see where we're going here.
Yeah.
Yeah, see already.
Oh, see, already.
You can feel it's like, I'm trying to like, I've got this little sort of like very thin part here, so I'm trying to be gentle with it and put it there. But even that, it's fine because that will just turn into like a crispy hole, and that's fine and beautiful. But you see already, just waiting that little bit, it's like, yeah, okay, I'm good.
Oh, you want me to go to that corner? Yeah, I'll go to that corner.
Yeah, exactly. I'm gonna let this go for now.
Okay.
And then we're gonna let our Now you want to let it rise a bit. You really want to rest it
Okay.
for like 30 minutes to an hour.
Oh, okay, great.
And it will sort of start to rise again. And right before we then stick it in the oven, we'll give this one last pull to the corners. But you can see it's almost filled the whole thing, right? Plenty of room to plop delicious cheeses on this once it's baked. Yeah. So we're going to let this rise and chill out a bit.
Okay.
We're going to slather it with more olive oil. Then we're going to put some fun toppings on it and bake it.
Great.
Okay, cool. So
I'm excited.
Yeah. So cut.
Slate.
All right, so we did cover our breadboard, and we let it sit for about 45 minutes.
Yeah.
It didn't get a giant rise on it, right? It just got a little bit, got a little poofier, and you can feel it actually when you start to pull it out a little bit. We're gonna pull it all the way to the corners now.
Okay.
It feels all soft and marshmallowy.
It really
doesn't it?
does.
It's really nice.
Yeah.
And now it's just sort of like, sure, I'll go wherever. It's like all chill and relax. It's like, yeah, I'll go hang out in the corner.
Yeah. I got this.
So it's all there. Mm-hmm. It's still smelling yeasty, and
yes.
you can smell the olive oil on it. Mm-hmm. So, and again, because we use that little bit of whole wheat pastry flour, it doesn't get as poofy as if you just want to do like a straight up focaccia. If you do want to do that, I would recommend just using all white flour.
Okay.
And it will puff more. Great. But this is going to be amazing. And so now we're going to use some more olive oil. Okay. I'll give you that.
Oh, great.
And I'm just going to drizzle a little bit, and then you just want to cover the whole top. Like you just want to spread it out. That was probably a little heavy there.
Oh, that's okay. I'll spread it.
Again, like a tablespoon to a tablespoon and a half, or 2 tablespoons, whatever it is. But just like you want to cover the whole surface. Even maybe pick up some of the stuff that's like oozing out from the bottom. Yeah. But you want it nice and oily. Yeah. Nice and oily.
Pretty well covered.
Yeah. And again, if you were doing a traditional focaccia and it was a little bit thicker, you would then sort of dimple it. You would sort of like play it with your fingers. You ever see how focaccia has dimples in it? That's how you do it. You go dimple, 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 dimple. You just like poke it with your fingers a little bit. We're going to let this have its own like uneven, crazy surface to it. Great. Just as it is. What we are going to do is put a little bit of toppings on it just to be fun. And so I've got some stuff there. So I like you can do whatever you want, but I like to sort of do like quadrants, like 4. Yeah, that makes sense. We'll do like, I'll keep like a plain one here, and then over here I'm going to put some sesame seeds.
Okay, I'm going to do the everything.
Cool. Seasoning. And it doesn't have to be, super even or whatever. Cool. Yeah. And then maybe a mix of those 3 in the bottom quadrant here, sort of our like, Italian style. Okay, so I'm going to get some garlic too.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to go crazy and do some garlic on it.
Oh my gosh. You do garlic?
Crazy.
Shocking.
Yeah. I have a big jar of pre-chopped garlic that I bought. That.
Not surprising.
I think will be perfect for this. Mmm.
Oh yeah, I can smell that. That smells so good.
I'm looking at uncooked dough and my mouth is watering. I'm sort of already sort of like...
Right, so that was thyme, and I did some oregano, and then I'm going to do some basil. He's doing some garlic.
Yep.
I'm going to spread that out there.
I've got maybe a tablespoon of this stuff. Mm-hmm. Now it smells like a pizza. Yeah. Yep. Great. Is there
enough basil, you think?
I think it's plenty. It smells really good there. And this will also, if you're going to be using this as a cheese board, think about the cheeses that you have. I have some really simple, mild cheeses that we're going to be putting on here, so we can go heavy with the flavors. Again, if you're doing this easy dough, you could do any of these or all of these to just make it onto a focaccia would be amazing. Sure. You could make individual rolls out of this and, do toppings like this. It's really fun and delicious and looks awesome. Yeah.
I just feel like it needed more. Now that I've seen the garlic, I feel like it needs more.
Yeah. So there we go. We're going to stick it in 425 for about 20 to 25 minutes. Okay. We'll check it at that time. Great. If it needs more, we will let you know. Yeah. But here we go. Okay, are you ready?
I'm so ready.
We are so ready. Yeah, it's baked. Again, 425. It baked just about 23 minutes, somewhere in there. Yeah.
It smells so good.
There we go. Our bread board, our cheese board that we're going to eat, our edible cheese board. So this is it. And again, all the different toppings that you can use. We did our fun sort of like Italian style over here with the garlic and oregano and basil. And then we did our everything topping here and some sesame. And you can see there's puddles of oil in there that makes it delicious. And it's all uneven and craggy and weird. And I love that. We're going to let it cool a little bit. But yeah, it's party ready to go. So we're going to let it cool.
Yes.
We're going to decorate it with some like cheeses and toppings and stuff like that. And then we're going to talk about that for like 2 seconds before we eat it.
Yep.
We're going to eat it. We're going
It's
to eat
gonna
that.
be so hard to wait.
All right. All right. Party time. Okay. So this is our edible cheese board, all decorated for a party or for like a Tuesday.
Right.
Whatever. Yeah, just chowing down. So let's talk through what we did here. We did all soft cheeses.
Yes.
Because we're spreading on bread. I don't think hard cheeses are how you want to go with this because you know this is spreadable stuff.
Yeah.
So starting over here, we have a Camembert, which is a fun cheese. You can find it around a lot of places. It's a blend of Camembert and Gorgonzola.
Oh.
People from France or Italy would punch you in the face if you said that, but it's not a real thing, but but it's fun and it's delicious.
It's great.
With that, I paired some dried cranberries because sweet always goes good with blue cheeses, and some Marcona almonds. They're those really good Spanish almonds that are fried in olive oil, oily almonds.
Yes. They're so good.
Yeah. Moving over here, we have just a simple goat cheese, a simple plain goat cheese with a red pepper jelly on it.
Ugh.
My mouth was watering on that one.
Yep.
The spiciness is going to go really nice. And we put that on where the everything seasoning is. Again, the Camembert is on where the sesame is. Play with this stuff. And then over here, we have a cheese called Boursin, which again, easy to come by. It's a French cheese, but it's got garlic and herbs in there. We put that on where the garlic and herbs are with some really mild salami there. So that's going to make a good sandwich little thing there.
Yeah.
And then over here, we have a triple cream, super buttery brie with an Earl Grey tea jam. Yeah, I know it all looks terrible, right? Yeah.
It's amazing. Is what it is. It's like, I don't know what I was picturing, but this is like so much better in person. It's so good.
So while you're friends, you can go super fancy like this, look up different ideas. Yeah. Again, I would just stay in the spreadable soft cheese world for this because it's on a bread. Yeah. So yeah, and then you can have out sort of like a bread knife to cut into it if you want, but I like to just tear into it.
Okay.
And just like find a spot here and maybe tear a little bit and like, oh look, there's some yummy cheese.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah, and like,
how did that happen?
Yeah, and maybe sort of like cranberries and stuff and put it a little handheld stuff.
Yep.
Okay. You got your jam there? You got your your
Cheers.
Yeah, cheers.
It's so good.
We can't even speak.
I really love I love all the herbs here, including the garlic. It's great, but I'm really loving the bottom with the cornmeal. That is a really nice touch.
Nice crunch to it.
Yeah. I love that. That really adds a really nice crunchiness to it.
Right.
So good.
Yeah.
Right. I'm gonna go in for here.
This is the most fun part of the episode where you get to just watch us eat.
Yep.
Don't you love it? Again, super buttery triple cream brie here.
Let me get some of this.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Oh, that's so good.
That work for you?
Yeah.
Oh.
This is a red pepper jelly.
Red pepper jelly, yeah. Yeah. So good, right? And a lot of these things too, you could almost mix up. Like the red pepper jelly would be fantastic on the Gorgonzola. It would be fantastic on the Brie.
Sure.
So you can make it sort of like, party ready like this, or you can put out little jars of the stuff and let people sort of like mix and match their own. Sort of I just did some of my favorite pairings and stuff. Switch sides.
I was just going to say
Switch sides. Yeah. I'm going over here because you just had that great reaction to that one.
Oh my god.
Isn't this fun for you? Yeah, watch.
You should make this with us.
Yeah.
And then you can eat it with us too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like just how kind of tactile and gooey it is. I'm not gonna lie, that's kind of fun.
Oh yeah.
Eating with your fingers.
Okay.
Right. The tang of that goat cheese with the pepper jelly.
That's what I'm talking about.
And the everything seasoning. So much fun.
The Earl Grey jelly is so interesting because you can really taste the tea, but it's sweeter than you anticipate it being, you know?
Right on. I did put another board under the cheese board because the board is going away as we eat it.
That was a very good idea.
I mean, for the boursin now. Boop.
Oh, I got a nice big piece of that. Triple cream. So good.
I love this crazy herb on herb on herb on herb.
Right?
And that boursin is so like rich and fatty in a good way. And again, just the board itself is so chewy and so dense and crunchy on the outside. This is fun. You should do it.
You should definitely do it. I think that people would be really excited to walk into a party and have this just be set up for them and just like dive right in. I think it's great.
Yeah. So that's how we make a cheese board.
Yeah.
We make a board you can eat.
Yeah, absolutely.
Once again, I'm Andrew.
I'm Megan.
And this has been
Cooking Stage Left. I'm just going to keep eating it.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Andrew and Megan critique shit that's dumb. That's our next show. Bullshit, stage left. A tagline. We say that's bullshit.
Good. I think we've got some good ideas in here.
Here we go.
Here we go.